Hi everybody, so this is my new cover for my Nook. It's a little bit flimsier than the cover I had for my Kindle, but it's kind of nice to just have something extra to hold on to rather than just holding on to the Nook itself. So, that's just a quick update. This video is really about the book I just read. Let's see. One of the books I just read. Let's do Alice in Love. Okay. Oh, that's not... Okay, it's this book right here. Oh, it's not called Alice in Love. It's called Liberation of Alice Love. It's by Abby McDonald. And let's see what I can tell you. Is anyone else reading the Nook books that are the free Friday Nook books? Because this book was not last Friday, but the Friday before. And I read it, and I thought I would talk about it. Sorry, there we go. Now I can show it to you. That's the front cover. Liberation of Alice Love. Abby McDonald. Okay. So, this book I downloaded for free, which was pretty cool. And it was 343 pages. And I would say that for a free book, it was good. I started reading it, I think at the beginning of the book I was a little confused because I was like, there's a character named Ella, the character named Alice, there's a Vivienne, there's a somebody else. There were all these like women, and I'm like, who are all these people and how are they connected? So I think I'm not sure if it was because it was late at night and I just wasn't grasping it, or if the writer made me confused. So at first I was confused, but then I started to get into it. And it was kind of like your typical female chick lit type book where, you know, there's girlfriends and they're hanging out and they're going to have drinks and there's romance, and then it changed from your typical book to having, it was about identity theft, which was interesting, and how it can become personal and how it can really mess with you. And the book really was a long book for what it was, and it did drag out a little bit, but there are kind of a couple storylines interwoven, so it helped make it not so long, meaning there was a storyline between the sisters' connection, there was a storyline between the romance side that she had in her life, Alice, and then there was the connection of her and the identity thiever, and her and her friends. So there are all these little interwoven things, so it kept it from dragging out too much. And the ending. So, okay, so we get to all that. That was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was a fun read. And I would recommend it. But then we get to the ending. The ending, I hated it. I hated it so, so much. I'm not going to tell you what it was, but if you hate books where the ending has this person like, this isn't what happened, but there's the person sitting on the bench. They could take that bus or they could not. What do? I don't know. We're just going to leave them on the bench. I hate that. You need to end the book with some sort of finality so that we know how the whole story wraps up, and don't just leave it with her having all these options. Some people like books where you get to imagine that they decided the thing that you would decide for them. Not me. I want to know what she chose to do. Did she stay? Did she go? Tell me. Did she get on that bus? There's no bus in this book. But after my beef with the stupid ending, thinking about the whole book, it was enjoyable. It did take me a while to read because it was so long, so for a free book, I mean, it was worth it. But speaking of free Friday Nook books, I'm just going to quickly talk about the last free Friday Nook book and how I hated it. No, I didn't hate it. I started reading it, and it's called Needle in a Haystack. And I want to get you to the front cover again so you can see. Well, maybe you're not going to get the front cover, but it's called Needle in a Haystack by Ernesto Malo, and it's translated because it's in Argentina or something. It was started in another country. I only got about 20 to 30 pages in. I started it, and I actually liked it at the beginning. The writing style was very, very different than what you're used to. It was very... I'm not sure if it's the first person or third person because I don't remember all that crap, but it was very like somebody's telling you the story about someone else. And when a character speaks, it's just all in italics. And there was like this part where he was having a conversation between himself and someone else, and it was like a run-on paragraph. It was like you couldn't tell who was speaking until you like figured it out in your head. Okay, like I'll show you right here. This one put up a fight. Do you think he was planted there? What does it look like to you? Like it couldn't be clearer. Da 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 da. That's not all one person talking. That was one person talking to another person who responded with that, and it was like, well, how do I know who said what? You don't. So I didn't like that because usually we have quotes and we know who's speaking and he said, she said, he said stuff. And so I didn't like the style of writing in this book. At first, I liked what the story was about because it started about these people were found dead, and then there was this guy who was like an undertaker, and then it started to go off on someone else. Not the undertaker, the other guy. And I was like, alright, you know what, forget it, I don't like this guy. It's talking way too much about blah, blah, blah stuff that I'm just so bored with. That you know, sometimes when you read a book, you kind of skim through it and you're like, da, 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 skip this part that I don't like. Well, I started doing that for pages and pages, and I was like, you know what, forget it. I can't read this book. So, unfortunately, this book, Needle in a Haystack, by Ernesto Malo, that one, is not one I would recommend from the free Friday Nook books, but the Liberation of Alice Love is one. So right now, those are the first two free Nook books that I've downloaded, and it's 50-50. But that being said, they're free, so I think it's a great opportunity to be able to try a book, see if you like it. If you don't, hey, who cares? It was free and you can delete it. So that is my sort of review, explanation, opinion about the free Friday Nook books and about the two books that I've read. Now, you're going to ask me, Stacy, where do you get these free Friday Nook books? Well, my dears, on the internets. If you have a Nook, I have the Nook tablet. If you have it, you can go on to, I think it's mynook. No, it's not. You turn on your Wi-Fi, because you keep it off usually so you can save battery, don't you? Yeah, you do. And you favorited it to make it easy. It's bookclubs.barnesandnoble something. bookclubs.barnesandnoble.com /T, the number 5, /the-nook-blog /BG-P /unbound /label / I don't even know. Anyways, there's the Nook blog. When you go onto go.bn.com, you can find, gobn.com, what's that? Yeah. go.bn.com. BN. And it'll bring you to like a web page, and it'll be the Barnes & Noble web page that is like the Barnes & Noble community, which is like the blog, which then this person, I don't even know who it is, lists the free books when they come out. So I skip all the other blogging stuff other than the free stuff because that's the stuff I want. So if you are still watching, I apologize, because you're a sucker. No. But check them out if you haven't yet. And if you don't know how, it's not like Kindle where you can't ask anyone. You could also go to your Barnes & Noble store and ask your Barnes & Noble Nook person and see if they can show you how to find them. And that's it. That was my Nook. That was my review. That was a whole bunch of stuff. Thanks for watching.